Mobile Geek's coverage of MWC 2015 is powered by ASUS.
Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks right here at MWC 2015, and this is the LG Magna in the LTE version, so there's probably also going to be a model without LTE. This one has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 410 in there, which is the new 64-bit capable LTE included version of the Snapdragon 400 family, running at 1.2 gigahertz on all of its 4 cores maximum. The device itself has a 5-inch 720p screen, which has, again, as we're always used to from LG, a very decent IPS panel on here. There's also dual SIM functionality, as you can see right here. The screen itself looks pretty nice, and it does have good contrast ratios and a pretty good viewing angles. What's interesting about these new LG phones for the mid-range is actually that they're bringing down the curved design that you know from the LG G Flex flagship to the mid-range, actually. So if you look at this device from the side really closely, you won't see it on the camera pretty much. You can see that the back of the phone is slightly bent, or pretty bent actually. The front is even less bent, but it is bent. So the front screen, the screen on this device is actually slightly curved, so you have about a millimeter or two difference between the edges of the device and the middle. So if you put the device down on the table, it will not have contact with the surface that it is laying on. What's pretty cool about those new LG devices is actually that they're bringing down the curved design from the G Flex 2 flagship device to the mid-range devices, which means it's not flexible like the Flex 2 still is, although LG isn't putting any weight on this marketing-wise. But on the Magna, for example, like on the Spirit device, which is the 4.7-inch smaller brother of this, is actually that the front screen is slightly curved, so you have a small difference between the edges of the device and the middle of the device. So if you put it down on the surface, it will not touch the area that it is lying on, at least in the middle. So that is supposed to keep scratches away a tiny bit at least, or protect it from that, and other than that, it's just a freaking cool design, at least in my world. You have a 5-inch screen on here, as I said, 720p. Under the hood is the Snapdragon 410. We have 1 gig of RAM and 8 gigs of internal flash storage that can be extended through a micro SD card slot that is under this removable cover. There's also a 2540 milliamp hour battery integrated into this, so with combination with the 5-inch screen running at a pretty low 720p resolution and the Snapdragon chip in here, it should give you a pretty decent runtime that will easily get you through the day. Another thing is, although there is this pretty big battery in here, the device is really, really light. They feel very light and still are pretty sturdy. There's nothing bending on these devices at all. Other than that, we are running Android 5.0 Lollipop, as you can already tell from the interface down here and from the moves that it makes. I mentioned already the dual SIM support on here, and we have a 5 megapixel front camera right there, plus an 8 megapixel shooter on the back, including a single LED flash right there. It doesn't have OIS or anything, so that's still reserved for the higher end models. LG is also bringing, or keeping, or sticking with its design with the rear keys, so there's no buttons on the sides of the device. They're both on the back, so you have the volume rocker up here and this kind of circular or squared button for the power and the standby, but it still has this curved or round structure to it, so if you touch them with your finger and you don't see the device, you can easily tell the volume rocker and the home button or the power button apart from the other buttons. Other than that, we have a single stereo speaker down here, and if you look at this cover on here, there's this slight structure to it that should keep fingerprints away, and these devices have really been out here for a week now, and this one still looks pretty sleek. I guess they're cleaning them every day, but Alice, it's 7 p.m. right now, so the show is going to be over in a second, and still this one looks pretty much pristine. Let's take a close look just a second at the other sides of the device. So you have the volume rocker on top left here, plus the noise cancelling mic, and at the bottom you get your speech mic plus the micro USB port just for charging and connecting the device to your PC. There are a bunch of themes integrated into this device, as you just saw, so you can switch around a bit with them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This will be out in Europe pretty soon, and it should retail for just around 200 euros. and it probably will also launch in the US, though probably not as a dual SIM version, since the US carriers certainly don't sell dual SIM models, and the US market is still sticking to that carrier bought or carrier sold phone thing. So this has just been a quick look at the LG Magna LTE here at MWC 2015, and I was rolling with Mobile Geeks. If you like what we do on our channel, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and we will see you later.
Mobile Geeks coverage of MWC 2015 is powered by ASUS.